New year, new baby. Well, baby Leah from Bolton decided that she was going to arrive and nothing was going to stop her.
So, to tell us their story, joining us now, Mum Lindsay, Dad David, baby Leah herself, Sister Cara, also Elaine Gillian and Stephen Kenworthy, who lent a helping hand. We'll explain how in a moment. Welcome all.
Yeah, we've never had so many people.
No, 6 on the sofa. And congratulations, Mum and Dad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome baby Leah, who is behaving beautifully.
Yeah. So let's start off with New Year's Eve and how the events turned out, Lindsay. So how was it going?
Well, I started having contractions in the early evening, really. So I knew Leah was kind of on the way.
Was she going to be early or late at that point?
She was
on time?
a couple of days late, to be
pretty
honest.
Much on time.
Yeah. But I was hoping for a 2010 baby, so I wasn't too bothered. And then I went to bed at about midnight, well, just after the chimes had gone, and then phoned my mum to come and look after Cara while we went into hospital. So she came at about 3:15 in the morning. I phoned the hospital. They said, oh, you can stay at home for another hour if you feel kind of not too bad. But then within like 10-15 minutes, contractions had gone a lot worse.
You knew things were happening by this point, didn't you?
Yeah, and wished kind of that we'd gone in when we first phoned up, really. And then my waters went, so I went upstairs to change my trousers, and I said, I can't move now, I've got to push. So we phoned for an ambulance. And then David kind of took over.
So, David, you want to pick up the story at that point, then?
This is all yours from now on.
Right, from then on, I phoned up the emergency services, and they basically said, well, what's happening, kind of thing. And I said, well, she's having to push. So they said, oh, can you see anything that's going on? So I had to actually have a look down, like, at the business end, kind of thing.
I know exactly what you mean, yes.
And so... I looked and I saw that the head was coming at that point. So I was like onto the emergency services saying, well, this is the point she's at. So she had to like get on the floor to get all the towels out from the closets and that. And
it's like something out of a film, this.
Oh yeah, it was. It's like out of a soap, and it was like couldn't believe it was like happening, kind of thing. It was like, and then Lindsay's mum came upstairs and like to find out what was going on, and we were sort of, well, she's having to push and it's like the baby's coming. So I was on their phone to the emergency services all the time, and they were like guiding me through what to do, and they were like really helpful.
And was an ambulance en route by this point, or was the weather prohibiting all that?
Yeah, and we were like going to the man on the phone, how long are they going to be, how long are they going to be, because we were like sort of worried about complications and such like. So eventually she was just pushing and pushing, and I could see more and more of the head, and I sort of 1 minute it was in, 1 minute it was out, kind of thing. I was like, oh, I've got a baby in my hands.
It's Mother Nature's wonder, isn't it, for you? And pop, you're a father.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring you two in on the end here.
Yeah, because the Mountain Rescue come in at some point, don't you, Elaine?
And we did, yes.
We never thought the Mountain Rescue would be arriving to help deliver a baby. But tell us, Gillian, how does that happen? Sorry, Elaine, sorry.
Basically what happened is we got a call from the ambulance control to say that there was a woman in labour. They had midwives on the way, but unfortunately due to prevailing weather conditions, it was easier for us to get to the address prior to the midwives getting there, because they were in a normal car, we were in a 4x4. And I think it was a bit of a shock to Lindsay and David when they opened when David opened the door, not Lindsay, obviously.
And I saw a Land Rover.
A Land Rover Mountain Rescue Squad, not an ambulance and paramedics. No. Steve, are you trained for this kind of thing as part of your Mountain Rescue training?
Well, yeah, we do basic emergency type stuff.
So any emergencies that you can get to, that the ambulances perhaps can't get to, or the police cars can't get to, that's what you're trained in?
Well, basically we're trained in casualty care, which is normal mountain rescue.
Because normally we expect you to be up the Peak District somewhere in the Pennines, picking up people who've fallen over and hurt themselves.
We do actually have some training in paediatric care and delivery as well, in case of emergencies, especially on the hills, because it could happen as well.
Indeed it could, yeah.
I was just going to say, so with this bad weather, have you really had to step up the mark? Have you been called out more and more?
We've had, since December the 19th, an immense amount of calls due to the weather. We're not there to act as a resource for the police or ambulance service, but we are there to assist them if they need our requirements, such as vehicles and things like that. So we are there to act as a helping hand to them if need be.
I'm sure Mum and Dad were very pleased.
Absolutely.
How is Cara with her new sister?
She absolutely adores her, really.
Yeah.
She completely does a bag of sweets just at the moment.
I'm quite peckish as well.
You can have one, Gemma, if you like
What's
as well.
Thank you.
So it all went well, and there were no complications, which was fabulous. So I presume you had to go into hospital afterwards, or...?
There was just some complications because the placenta didn't come out, so I did need to go into hospital.
Getting a bit technical now.
But I thought I'd rather get checked out in hospital anyway.
I think that's fair enough.
It was the best
Than your own
thing, really.
bathroom.
But I mean, with hindsight, are you pleased you had a baby at home rather than maybe in hospital? It's a nice thing to be able to tell her when she's older, isn't it?
Especially when because it was on New Year's morning as well. It's kind of a story to tell her, so...
Yeah, she'll be able to celebrate New Year's Eve into her birthday.
Yeah, one big party
What
when
a
she's
heck of
a
a party
teenager,
that'll be.
obviously.
When, of course, she's very much older. Congratulations
Thank
again, Mum
you.
and Dad,
Thank you very much.
Elaine and Steve. Nice to see you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
indeed
much
all for
indeed.
coming in.
Thank you.